the hardest things for children who grow up in trauma, who want to create safe emotional environments for their partner, is understanding that intellectualization is not emotional regulation. It's emotional suppression. When someone grows up in an emotionally reactive and abusive environment, they learn to equate strong emotions, loud emotions, and eventually emotions with danger. When they had a parent who could turn a dime, laughing one minute, then yelling the next. Or they had a parent who would have huge reactions to small things and chastise them, berate them, or physically hurt them for things like forgetting to take out the garbage. They learned they had to recognize emotions to survive, so they're perceptive and they can describe them, but they were not allowed emotional reaction. So they get into adult relationships or they become parents where their partner or child is looking for emotional co-regulation. Say they have a 7-year-old, and that 7-year-old says, "I hate you, Dad." The response they would have gotten as a child is, "Well, I hate you too, you little," not appropriate, not helpful, scary. The intellectualized response to that is, internally, I see there's a big emotion. I don't want to respond hurtfully. And to survive, I had to suppress my emotions so much. I'm not sure exactly what that makes me feel, so my response is descriptive at best and avoidant at worst. Something like this. It sounds like you're upset. That's not appropriate. Go to bed. You see, there's an acknowledgement that something happened and that it wasn't okay to the person, but it doesn't provide any off-ramp to greater understanding, bonding, or emotional processing for either of them. The emotionally regulated response would be, internally, "Oh, I love this little person so much, and I'm trying so hard to be a good dad, but I know she's only 7, and I know she's upset and she doesn't know how to express herself. Let me respond appropriately." Externally, "It really hurts my feelings when you say that, but I know you're upset. So what happened? Why are you mad at me? Let's talk about it." In that response, there's a full acknowledgement. There's a recognition that it's an intense emotion, but there's no disproportionate response or blow-up. There's an acknowledgement, a holding, and an offer for reconnection and processing. When people as children experience their emotions shut down, or shamed for having those emotions, for people to continue to function, they realize they can't just react. That's not safe. And so the suppression, the intellectualization, becomes an automatic response to strong emotions, because strong emotions automatically get equated with threats. And because the intellectualization allows the person to continue to function and produces a better outcome than the unregulated emotional reaction, over time, they think that's just what their emotional landscape is. So because they learn to equate intellectualization with emotional responsiveness, it's difficult at first for them to even begin to understand that they haven't been responsive all along. And if their partner points this out, they fight them. The saddest thing about intellectualization is while it keeps the person functioning, it also robs them of joy. Because when you suppress strong negative emotions, you suppress strong positive emotions. What do we do with this? Well, the only way out is through. In order to become emotionally regulated, you first have to experience your emotions. When we start this process in couples or family therapy, the intellectualizer doesn't believe this is the course of action, because people who are just starting to stop intellectualizing have really big reactions to minor stressors. And so treatment for this is sitting with them and helping them to encounter those emotions, actually feel them, and realize that that feeling is not inherently bad, that it shouldn't just be avoided. Eventually, over time, that leads to greater emotional regulation.